My dear plus 2 students, very good morning to one and all. Today we are going to have the third part of deep water. William Douglas is narrating his own personal experiences that he had at various levels while he was going on swimming process to become a very good swimmer in future. Now, the first part we have studied that though he was fond of swimming on seashore, and also later he went to that YMCA pool, there was an accidental incident made him a little bit of fear, terror, and also panic. No, terror was there, fear was there, panic was there. Fear is very common, that is the slight or the lowest degree. Then comes terror. Whenever an unexpected sight of something would create the feeling of fear in our mind, it's called terror. So whenever he sees water, he had the occasion of returning back that panic, fear that we call terror. Anyway, we also studied an incident that a bruiser came and picked him up and tossed him in that deep water. It had a length of 9 feet, and he had 3 sets of experience in that deep YMCA pool. And lastly, he was there lying the low level of that pool, and he was in an oblivion mood at that time. I told you, oblivion means forgetfulness. Everything was losing from his head and mind, and water became a particular color, and his eyes, and he totally fainted and went unconscious mode, and he could just experience that he was quiet in a peaceful condition. In all those were the symptoms of nearing his death or the last fatal death. That was the reason he had such an experience. That means he was really tasting the last moments of death. And he would understand, clearly he could understand that death is nothing but peace. Death is peace. But when we see, or in order to avoid a death, or in order to overcome the situation that is there in front of death, is called struggling factor. Or there we have to face terror, or we have to face some panic situation. Then only we could save from our death. Death is not a problem, that is the end of everything. But before that death comes, we have to struggle, we have to overcome, we have to surrender. We should never surrender, we should never yield to any automatic action that comes in front. We have to overcome, we have to surmount that obstacles. That is what is called a life. So life is nothing but not to surrender to it, but to have the feeling and action of surmounting or overcoming all these actions or all these incidents. So that we have studied. So he was lying under the bottom or at the bottom level, and he went unconscious mood. He was totally fainted, and the next moment he could only see that he was taken by somebody, and he did not know, and he was lying very close to that pool in a fainted and a very, very tired and weak position. And so many were gathered there. Among those, that bruiser or that fatty boy was a funny boy. He was also there. And somebody told, and one of the persons told that, oh, just escaped from the mouth of death. Then bruiser told that he did it just for a fun. He didn't think of such a dangerous situation would arise thereafter. Anyway, he could not rise up properly. He could not eat anything. Vomiting came. So later he was taken to that particular room. There he spent one day. After that, he was taken to his home. Only after one day, he automatically or he could somehow came to the normal track of life. That you have studied. Now, be how everybody has some dreams or some passions in our life. That is very important, no? We have some dreams. You have some passion. We have some expectations of it. Especially you are studying in +2 course. After this +2 course, it is a diversified area. You will be taken out of various streams of your future education. So, there you have certain dreams, and you have certain passion. Some might have the passion of having an engineering degree or a medical degree. Some even more have the passion for getting an admission, for getting or get through the preliminary examination, and finally this qualifying the final Indian Civil Service examination. Like that, it depends upon the various pulling and pushing and inspiring and motivational tips of various sides or from ourselves. So here, our William Douglas, we know very well that at first he was a teacher. He was not there. He immediately skipped from that field and he took his law degree and became the Justice of American USA and became very close associate of American President Roosevelt. But no, he had the dreams. He had three or more important dreams in his life. To become a good swimmer, that means he want to become swimming, then canoeing, then fishing, then boating. All these, he could not forget all these sports. Very interested and very intimate and very passionate one. So he could not forget all these areas or all these fields. So he wanted to become a good swimmer, a canoer, a good fisherman, and a good boating person. So for that, what he wanted was, he had such an experience or a close attached experience of water. That means he should somehow discard, or he should somehow cast that concept of fear from his mind. That means he had to retain little bit of braveness, boldness, courage, perseverance, and what do we call a good perception about his future. If all these things are going on well, then no matter, he could survive and he could come to the point of success and he could come to the point of fulfillment, or he could fulfill what he actually thought in his mind. So, New Hampshire Island is part of USA, a very nice island, a very, an old island, we will say. That's a state of USA. It's a state of USA. But this island, very beautiful one. A lot many small islands are located in various areas, and so many bays of stretches of water are in the midst. Waters are in the midst, because I use waters, various confined water. That is why I am using, generally water is a plural sense we are using. So, various areas water is stretching into various areas, and each area, and it is a very nice place, very tourist, well-known area, and he had one ambition or a dream, and that dream was to swim any one of the watery stretch or lake area. And he had also this one. He wanted to fish trout, a particular fish that we call in English tuna. Then salmon. He would say in Malayalam, Korano. So he wanted to fish all these things. America, world America and Canada, they are the leading countries in the Latin American and American countries. They are leading countries in fishing. Very famous for fishing harbor. Yes. So he wanted to fish all this. He wanted to enjoy canoeing. He wanted to enjoy boating, everything. So, that vestige of fear is there. Vestige means remains. There, some little bit of balance of fear is there in his mind. He had to fully clear that remains or vestiges from his mind. The vestiges of fear, the vestiges of terror, the vestiges of panic, he had to clear that. Then only he could come freely to the water. To water or to the water of Hampshire. So, for that, at first he made what? So, for that he it was in the month of October. He did not set aside his ambition of swimming, though the fear was obsessing him. That means following inch by inch. So, what did he do? He thought, how could he become a good swimmer? He did not give up that hope. He thought for a while. So he got an idea to appoint or to seek or to have the guidance of a good instructor. So he somehow arranged an instructor to give him or to make him a full experienced, free from all worries and fear, a well-fit swimmer. The instructor came. The instructor was really, we could say that he was really the person who molded the character and the shape of William Douglas. He was really responsible for the later William Douglas, though he died in 1980. So the instructor came, and the instructor made certain tricks or strategies to make him a good swimmer. The instructor tied a belt on his waistline, and the other part is taken from his overhead through a pulley and tied or controlled by an instructor. And the instructor asked Douglas to move forward and backward and sideward freely, because control was in the hands of the instructor. So there was nothing to worry or nothing to fear. He freely moved forward and backward and to all sides. He crawled. Crawled means sat on a particular position. He crawled. Later, he also did various types of swimming: front stroke, back stroke, side stroke. He made various forms. Butterfly stroke. He experienced all these various steps of swimming that we could have seen in our swimming competition. So, like that, it continued up to March. The instructor was very committed to teach him, or to make him, or to reform him a good swimmer thereafter. So, my dear students, this is also an important turning point in our life. Sometimes your parents or one particular word, or inspiring word, or a motivation that you could somehow aspire from your friends, or from your intimate beloved friend, or from a teacher, or from a speech, or from a write-up, or from a book. Such a particular, maybe there is, it may be very small concept or small gist or piece of information. It would have the power to shuffle in your mind something different. Here, with the availability of this instructor, there happened now a total change or reshuffling made in Douglas' mind. Douglas became a very good swimmer. Now, his swimming practices were over. It went on up to March. Now he had a full faith and confidence and stern belief in his mind that he was a good swimmer, but still a little bit of vestiges was there in his mind. If a person had an accident in his life, a driver once committed an accident and injured seriously, then definitely after that when he takes the vehicle and moves forward, that accident's wastage may come and instill in his mind a little bit of fear about the previous one. Like that, he would go on with that very little remains of that accident that he had before. Like that, here that vestiges was there. Anyway, one day remarked, "Oh terror, you should never come and frighten me." He told openly because he knew that terror again would come. Meanwhile, now the instructor once told him, asked him to down his head under water and exhale, and to raise his nose and head above the water and inhale. Only because to see what is there directly in the water inside and what is outside, now to breathe and how to let it off. So that goes so that went like that. So the instructor left the place. He was alone there, but he could not. But that was not the end of his, that was not the end of his journey. He was on the track, so he got ample motivation and inspiration from instructor and motivation by seeing all the stretches of or watery areas. He could not forget it. It's very important. Main lake was there. Wentworth was an important area, and important island is Trigg Island was there. Then Stamback Island was there. So he could see all these places, very nice places and very slackened water, and he had the temptation to swim across these various lakes. So later, my dear students, what did he do? He wanted to experience a larger area, whether he had got well fit, or he had got the complete faith of coming, or complete faith of entering into water, or whether he had the full confidence to swim across the lake. So one day, after having he wanted to how experience all these areas. So there was a temptation in his mind that he should have a little more, or he should be expertised a little more in swimming. And he had some close attachment to these water areas, like that. So, following were his big expeditions, somewhat big expedition. The length of he came one day. He came to main lake, and he thought for a while, and he thought of swimming main lake, followed by Wentworth is an important area before getting into dock, before getting into Trigg Island. That's also an island. All these are there very clearly mentioned in your textbook. So one day came Wentworth, and he swam to Trix. From there he swam to Wentworth. From there he swam to Trix Island. There was no one. As usual, so many tourists. As usual, so many swimmers were there. He was alone there. Now all his panic, all his terror, and all his fear, he set aside all those intrusionary weaknesses there. He set aside all those things. And he came Wentworth. From there he swam to Trix Island as a first step. So he was fully contented with that swimming and satisfied that he thought, and he uttered in a loud sound that there was no fear, there was no one to pull him back from his expedition or from his dreams. So from the Trix Island, there was a dock is there. Dock, the ships are confined there for repairing and also for anchoring there for a long period for repair, mainly for repairing or unloading something. He swam to this dock. From there, there was a dock there. From there he started to swim Stamback Island. It's a very important island. This is also a very important island. I told you, a state of USA. Stamback Island. That was his most important expeditionary, adventurous, what we called venture. To swim across the lake to Stamback Island and declare to the world swimmers that Douglas is no more behind, but Douglas is very forefront in swimming and in completing all those things. So, my dear students, understand that you have to clearly understand that as usually came there, he was in the dock at Trix Island. From there, he swam to Stamback Island. Across that lake he swam. And 2 miles length it has. Douglas, though the fear that was there in his mind, he left it. And he had a very bitter experience or a bitter setback from that YMCA pool, but now he had become a full-fledged swimmer, a very competitive and talented person in this field. So he swam across Stamback Island. It has a length of 2 kilometers and completely swam, had no problem. He was quite safe, well and safe and happy and peace, and declared. And he declared to the world that William Douglas is no more, declared that he was no more a back person, or he was a friend runner or friend swimmer, and he could do tremendous venture like this to show to the people. So that was about his, so he controlled, so he blocked all the vestiges of his fear, panic and terror that was there in the corner of his mind or brain. He stopped all this. all this what is called the failure, the tips of failures, and it took out the arrows of danger, took out the arrows of courage, and also a lot many things in order to have or in order to improve a lot in his future, and became a very good swimmer. Now, we have studied that his close friend was Franklin Roosevelt, the then USA president. He once mentioned all these things. He once mentioned all these incidents. And my dear students, now the lesson part is almost over. The rest I will be taking the next class. What is the message of this lesson, and what is the psychological importance of this lesson, and how it is important to a student like you in future. All these we are going to have in the next class. Okay, thank you.